during the late 60s and early 70s, which are now like pioneers, the small press was very much part of life. And I had worked for a revista that at the time was called Gemini, and I decided, well, one can't really work with men and focus on women because you just can't. And they didn't like my reviews, they didn't like my editorial suggestions, they didn't like what I suggested they publish. Who wants to argue all the time? I'll do my own thing. So I did, Third Woman Press. The idea was to publish, of course, women who wouldn't otherwise get published.
During our visit, a group of men in identical dark blue overalls had been escorted into a covered chain-link fenced concrete patio rimmed by rows of barbed wire. The men walked in 2 straight lines, sat at the long cafeteria-style tables, and told our delegations their stories. They were Haitian boat people, and in addition to their names, identified themselves by the vessels on which they come.
And got me thinking, the first book I ever read, adult book, when I was a little kid, and that was the first time I was at Bryan College Station. My dad used to teach there, and we moved to Mexico City very suddenly. And I was in 6th grade, and I started to copy Treasure Island, and I was reading it, and really got into it. I didn't have any friends or anything. We were stuck in this apartment for weeks. And, when I read Carmelo, I remember one of the things I really enjoyed, it brought me back to Mexico City. Some of just the little things that I not mind at all, but they became a part of my mind when I was reading it. And again, all these connections that just happen.
I'll say that there's something unique about written literary criticism. Now, you know, what is happening to some extent to displace the loss of pages devoted to books in major American newspapers is the advent of literary blogs. And some of them are very fine, and I read them regularly, but most of them don't do quite the same thing as a sustained work of analysis that has been thought through and written out over a period of days or even weeks. And many of the best blogs, and I think some of their strength, is in their spontaneity. They're written off the cuff. It's not quite the same kind of attentiveness that I think we need in taking on some of books that are worthy of that kind of interest.
Up in Paris, and she's got a new name, and they pick up where they left off without recognizing that they're really the same people, but they have a new identity. And the novel continues, and then she becomes a mistress for a Japanese businessman, and her name changes to Kyoka. And then it changes again, and she becomes the wife, she becomes Madame d'Arnel, and she's the wife of this distinguished UNESCO ambassador. And all the while the romance continues, and this man is totally obsessed with this woman. It's like Humbert and Lolita in a sense. And it's an amazing book.